Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. We're going to have another rehouse today, and as promised we got lots of rehouses to do, lots and lots and lots. Today we are going to do the Megaphobema robustum. Now we have got 4 of these, and we're hoping to breed them later in the year. So they are a project that we've had. You would have remembered actually back in our old place, we showed them off when they were very, very small, and we've grown them on a little bit now. So this particular female is going to go over into this 30 by 30 by 30 cube. Now we often get asked about many of these spiders in what is the perfect size enclosure and things like that. Well, there is no real perfect in size enclosure. It's all about really making, use of what you've got. Now, with one of these spiders, I wouldn't go any smaller than this. This is about as small as I would go. This gives them enough room to be able to do what they want, and also enough room in here for us to breed them. Now, when we look at enclosure sizes, we can look at maintenance enclosures. We can look at forever homes, and we can look at display enclosures. So everything has its own purpose and use, which is why nothing is particularly right or wrong. So we make use of what we've got depending on how we want to use it. So our robustum is in this at the moment, and she has been more than happy in here. We've kept her in here, we've grown her on, she's looking lovely. She's done everything she needed to do. Maintaining them in these boxes is a little bit more tricky than maintaining them in this. So by having a little bit extra size, it means that we can, we can have a little bit more leeway in how we look after it. We can also change our parameters. So in here, we can look at getting the perfect setup. In the maintenance one, we're looking at basic living. So it's 2 different things really. With the basic maintenance, we are literally looking at just that, maintaining our spider. We don't want it to do anything. We just want it to eat, grow, molt out properly. That's all it has to do. When we move it up into like this, like a forever home, we're looking at getting our parameters really, really dialed in, so that hopefully in the future we can then breed that spider. So it's different ways of looking after. Your management is different depending on what you're trying to achieve, and this is where a lot of beginners get a little confused, and it can be confusing when you're reading stuff online and there's conflicting information, and sometimes this information is because the people that are giving the information are working in a different way to what you're interpreting how they're saying it. Not always. Sometimes they're just spouting rubbish, but sometimes it depends on what you want. This is why we try and clarify whether we're maintaining something, we're breeding something, what we're trying to do with it. If you want to do a nice exhibit style enclosure for, say, robustum, then something this size but a little longer would be absolutely wonderful. Length, this is a terrestrial spider, a New World terrestrial spider, so giving it that extra length will make it look visually, make it look a little bit better. So what we're going to do, we are going to fill this up now. Now when these guys are young, they do like to burrow down, and they are quite shy. Even as adults, they can be quite shy. So we're going to give it a little bit of soil. Now this is just potting compost mixed with some cocoa fibre. You can see the cocoa fibre in it, that's the light stuff. I'll get some more in there.
Show the bucket, it's a bit easier.
Oh, you want to look in my bucket?
You shadowing it?
Yeah. That'll be my belly, my dear.
No, it's not.
Right then. So we're going to do that. So what we do is we make up our soil and that, and we keep it in these bins that Camera Lady's just shown you. and then that way we can sort of keep on top, and we've always got stuff ready. You never know when you're going to need stuff. So what we're going to do, it'd be nice to actually put this quite high at the back and have it sloping down. And you're thinking, well, why does your spider need it sloping down? Well, your spider doesn't need it sloping down, but visually it can make it look a little bit more interesting to us by having that contour. It's nice. Right then, so what we're going to do, we got a piece of cork bark here with a hole in the end, so we can see all the way through there like that. You see that? Pretty cool. So we can do that, and what we're going to do, we're going to put this flat down like so, because we're hoping she's going to use that hole. That's the idea. We're going to cover the rest of it up. Just push that in there like that. Cover that up like so. Then we've got a lovely piece of natural bark here. This is really nice. You know what I'm like for my natural bark. I do like that. I'll just take that bit off there because I don't want that. So then what we're going to do, we are going to put this in the front here. Like so, I think. If I can get it to fit. There we go. Sometimes you just got to literally just muck about with it a little bit. Get that in there. You see how we're creating now different levels. You see? We've created another level. So that's going to keep that like that. Hopefully she's going to use this. Go in here. That's what we want. But you never know. So then we've got a couple of plants here as well. So what I normally like to do is I like to try these plants in different places. Just try them out and just see where they fit. Now, see, I'm a bit worried. I'd like to put a plant in here, but I've got a feeling she's going to dig all of that out and bury it. So it might just be better to put it there. Oh, yeah, that'd be a better place to have it, wouldn't it? And then maybe a bit of, I'm toying with the idea of this one. Or moss up there. I think a bit of moss up there, wouldn't it? What do you think?
Give us a look. I think that'd look nice up there.
Yeah. It's not got a lot of soil here, lads.
Oh.
That's what
Won't work then.
probably won't work. Does that look better?
I think you'd need to put your moss in.
I need to put my moss in. Right, we've got our moss here. I'm just going to cover that like that. So we're just going to take our bits of rubbish off as normal. You can leave them in there, to be honest. Don't make any difference. That'll just hold that soil down there. It'll keep it there nice. I think that's better actually. That looks cool like that. It's nice to sort of just get a little bit of height, so we can swap that.
That does look better.
Like that. Does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right, let's put that in there then. We'll have that. So as you can see, we literally just play around. But what we're hoping for here is it'd just be nice to make a bit of a sort of a wooded, jungly looking sort of thing, really. Because these guys, they come from the tropical jungles and they live under dense plant growth. So although they like a relatively warm sort of environment, they also have it reasonably cool as well, because of where they are. So if you imagine right underneath a bush, it's actually relatively cool. So I'll put this one in here. Now this little fern here, this will grow nicely. I'll get that in there. And what our plants do really is just give us a little bit better look. Just turn that around because that's better. It might sound a little bit funny, but your plants do have a front and a back to them, depending on how they've been growing with the light and things like that. So there is a bit of a difference there. I'll put that in there. Right, we need a water bowl. Get that. I think what we'll do is we'll put our water bowl right down here. Down the front here.
Give us a flash.
I beg your pardon. Let me just fill this up. Give more. Now another thing that's been mentioned quite a lot lately is the use of clay balls. And yes, the clay balls are very, very useful. And what they do is they can make life a little easier when it comes to how much water you're using. So much of our actual spider keeping is really down to, especially when you're going bioactive with your enclosures, much of it is down to actually how much water you end up using and how good you are at maintaining your the water content and humidity within your enclosure. So if we use the clay balls, which we will use them again, we have got a couple of builds that we're going to use them in. What that does then is it does create a system where our plants can go down and the roots can go down and sit on the membrane which is covering our clay balls. The clay balls actually allow us to keep water in the bottom of the tank, which can make it a little easier to keep that humidity level. Now when you've got burrowing spiders, that's a little bit more difficult because they will dig right the way down, and we've actually had them, because they tend to dig down in the corners as well, they lift the corner of the mesh up and then they dig all the clay balls out, which basically sort of like defeats the object of what they're doing. So with them particular spiders, we don't need to worry so much about using the clay balls, but the clay balls come in very handy for when, if you're a beginner, it means that you can have a little bit more freedom with what you're doing with your watering. So if you overwater, the clay balls will make it, you know, a little bit safer, make it a little bit easier. So it's not such a major problem. I've got this stick left over from another job.
You and your sticks.
Yeah. What do we think?
Don't know.
Oh. How's that?
Yeah, that's better.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Can I have a look? Well, that gives a different level, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So what we'll do, put that up there. So just playing with my plants now. There we go. That gives a little bit. You see, we're just looking at different dimensions. It's changing it all the time. Right then. I knew I'd find a home for that stick. Here we go. Right. Do you want to come over and have a look at this? Absolutely wonderful spider. Now these spiders are very, very skittish, and she may well decide that she wants to run away when we uncover her. So we're going to pick this up.
And with your bum in the air like you just don't care.
Yeah, she will probably do that. We're going to pick this up very gently. There she is. There she is. Isn't she beautiful? And as you can see there from her abdomen, she has not been stressed out. She's got a lovely abdomen. Now these guys come from Colombia, and they're known as the Colombian Giant. They do get rather large, and I think they are such an underrated spider because look at that colouring. That is such a beautiful spider. An absolutely exquisite spider. Now these guys have a very interesting way of defending themselves. They will kick urticating hairs off of their abdomen and throw them at you. They've also, as adults, they have thick spines on the back legs, and they will, when threatened, they will lift their abdomen up and they will kick hairs, and then they will arch the back of their body right up in the air, and they will rush backwards, hoping to frighten off the intruder and use their back legs as a defensive weapon. They will try and hit them with their back legs, using these spines to actually cause injury to whatever it is that's attacking them. So they are really, really quite special.
This one not got them.
Well, this is still a young one. This has still got quite a little bit of growing to go yet. She is probably just about big enough to breed at the minute. So we will aim at looking at getting another molt out of her, and then we will possibly look at pairing her up. You can see there though that sort of creamy orange is such a lovely, lovely colour. And then you've got that real dark tops to the legs there. Fabulous looking spider. So I say, these are New World. They do kick hairs. In terms of care, they're relatively easy. They do like a moist substrate. They do like to be able to dig down and disappear. They are quite shy, which is a little unfortunate. But once they set up home, they will come out and about. But if you come into the room, quite often they'll run away. They'll disappear. So we need to aim at getting them really, really secure. The more secure they feel, the better they're going to be. Now we are going to try and get this spider in a catch cup and move it over to here, its permanent home. So what we're going to do, excuse me, I'm going to probably be coughing a lot more in a minute. What we're going to do, we are going to use our catch cup, which is this purpose-made, state-of-the-art catch cup, commonly known as a cricket tub. These things are absolutely worth their weight in gold for me. I use a lot of these, and I use them for so many different things. But catch cups they're perfect for, because they've got that nice lid as well. See, you can snap that lid shut. That spider ain't getting out. It's not going to bite through there. It's absolutely perfect. And we can see all the way around, so we can see everything that's going on. Now when we come to get this spider, we are going to put this side of the box at its abdomen, because when it kicks hairs it's going to go in the box hopefully, and we're going to put it down like that, and then with the lid we're going to use it like this. So we're covering the top a little bit, and then we're going to try and scoop it in. As soon as we get its back legs into this part of the box, we are going to lift it up and we're going to put it in the enclosure. That's the plan. Let's see if it works. All right, and here we go. Now look at that. Look at that. Now that has gone straight into defensive posture. We haven't even touched it. And look at that. Look how much bigger that spider looks already. I've got to get a photograph of that. That is awesome. Now, as we were saying, this is its defense posture. As camera lady said, it's just going to stick its bum in the air like it just don't care. Look at that. So, you noticed it's not kicking any hairs at the moment. So it is in stage 1 of get the hell out of here and leave me alone. We're probably going to see stage 2 now, because unfortunately we're going to have to move it. So what we're going to do, we're going to see, look at that. You notice how it's using them back legs? Fabulous. There you go, look, you see, look, we were sneaky there. She lifted her back legs up and we slid the box underneath. She doesn't even know it's there. Look at that. We've fooled her. So now we're going to come down the front. So now she thinks the aggression is coming from the front. As soon as we touch that leg, there you go. Yep, you see how she spun round to show her bum to what she thought was where the aggression was coming from, which was the lid. So what we're going to do now, we're going to plonk her in there. And we're just going to empty her out like that. You see, by using this catch cup, we've covered over and above her, so we're not getting any of them urticating hairs flicking up. That's lovely. Kept us safe. Don't she just look the bee's knees in that enclosure? She looks wonderful. Now, as you can see there, she's still in defence mode. She's still giving it large. And
shame I can't get a front view of her with a one whoop, but it's all good.
We can try that in a moment.
You need to get a picture.
We can try and get a picture. It's always nice to get a picture of them when they're in their sort of natural surroundings, as we say. So what we're going to do now, we are going to try and turn her around so you guys get to have a proper look at her. Now, by doing that, we can touch her front leg and she should, in theory, spin round to that side. Yeah, see, look, she's angling her body already. See how she's turning around? She's getting ready to face her bum to what is causing her the disturbance. And there you are. So we can still go a little bit more. We can still turn her. Look at that.
Perfect.
She's not 100% sure as to whether that was an aggressive thing or something that was just a little bit mildly irritating. But look at that. So there we saw firsthand the extreme defence system that these spiders have. You don't see this with any other spiders that will actually turn around and use their back legs. Most spiders want to rear up and show you their fangs when they're being harassed or they're feeling threatened. These guys do the total opposite. They actually show what you would think is their most vulnerable area. But she has got them spikes in them legs and she can put them to very good use. I think she looks absolutely wonderful in this sort of setting. A nice sort of woodlandy setting.
I don't suppose you got a torch about your phone to put a little bit of light on her?
Oh, let me see. Get a little bit of light.
So it just shows them browns up a bit better.
That's absolutely fantastic colouring. Now you can see now how she's actually settled down. It doesn't take much because we didn't really upset her in the first place. And you can see now she's dropped her abdomen, her legs have come down again. She's actually laying a little bit flatter to the floor now. She is pretty relaxed, and for a very nervous, skittish spider, this is awesome behaviour. This is so much what we should be aiming for with all of our spiders. This is the kind of thing we want. And she knows we're here. She can feel the vibrations in the air of me talking above her. And she can see different bits, light and dark, all around her changing. And yet she is still sitting there nice and relaxed. Now this is how you want to see your skittish spiders. Nice clean abdomens. I mean, that abdomen, it looks like she's just come straight out of the boutique. Looks like she's been and had her hair done. She's looking fabulous. Absolutely wonderful. Look at that dark chocolate brown. It's such a contrast to these sort of orangey red hairs. It really goes well. And then you can see there with the segments to the body up against the carapace there, they are almost like cream. Very, very pretty spider. I think she looks wonderful in here. That's a nice woodlandy looking effect. Now we can aim, if you're keeping your spiders like this, we can look at keeping that soil almost the same as what it is now. You know, it needs to just stay that same sort of colour, and you will have the right humidity in which to keep her happy. She don't need it wet, she don't need it dry either. So we're looking at something in the middle. Now in terms of humidity, we're looking up around about 70, maybe 80% in humidity to actually get her where we want her to be. They do like a humid burrow in which to live in, and hopefully she's going to go in here, she'll squeeze in there, dig out underneath here, and that's where she'll live, I'm hoping. Quite often or not, if we set them up with a starter burrow, which is what we've done with that tube really, they will quite often or not just follow that, and that's where they'll make their home, which means it gives you a little bit of freedom in designing the rest of it and how you want it. Because at the end of the day, it needs to fit purpose, but it also needs to be something pleasant for us to look at, so that, you know, when we come into see our spiders, we get to see them in a nice situation. Right, we're going to get a picture of her now. Hopefully, I will come round the front here. I think she's just wonderful. Oh, look at that.
Let's look then.
Look at that. Don't that look wonderful? That'll make a lovely thumbnail. Very, very pretty. Right, we'll take one from up here as well. So I think you'll agree that is a really, really impressive spider, and one that we are hoping to breed later on in the year. Now these are bred. Our good friend Graham Vasselin over at Backmar, he's bred these before, and they are fabulous. They just really are cool spiders. So it'd be nice to add some to our list of achievements. Right, in terms of food, these guys will eat just about anything. They seriously are not fussy. They really aren't. They will take on just about anything. So be careful, don't overfeed them. What you see there is a perfect size, and then that way, if we can keep them at that size, we stand a whole lot more chance of actually seeing her out and about as well. So we can keep a healthy spider. Many of our spiders in captivity are very, very overweight. So just bear that in mind when you're feeding. Right then. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. I'm really pleased with it. Don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I'll see you all soon, guys.